Blades Ramble are proudly supported by our main channel sponsor, My Business Group, a group of brands designed to support owners, leaders and managers in business. We would not be where we are without the incredible support of John and the team. If you're looking to grow your business, contact mybusinessgroup.co.uk today for more information or follow the link in the description below.
Blades fans, subscribe to Blades Ramble. Up the Blades.
What is happening, Blades, and welcome back to the Blades Ramble. I am, of course, Jimmy, and this is 10-minute transfers. We're here to discuss a potential very interesting transfer to Sheffield United. A lad that may be looking to cross the divide. From what we understand, he would be very interested in crossing the divide. However, is there legs to this one? Again, like always, we start off by checking the source. And the source, this time, we always talk about the value of local journalists. We talk a lot about the Sheffield Star. We talk a lot about Radio Sheffield being very close to the club. Alan Biggs is another one that's very close to Sheffield United. And he set tongues wagging with this tweet last night. Night before last, I think. Unsurprisingly, I'm hearing of interest in Sheffield Wednesday pair Djeidi Gassama and Anthony Musaba. At least one firm offer is rumoured. Gassama was on Chris Wilder's radar had he stayed at Sheffield United. Both players should have substantial value, at least in normal conditions. Well, we're not in normal conditions, Al. I know you know that, pal, and I know you appreciate that, but we are not in normal times. So could Djeidi Gassama still be on United's list and be available at a cut price? There's a strong chance he's available at a cut price. Are United still interested? Well, this has sent tongues wagging in and amongst probably both sides of the city, to be honest, but certainly we've seen it in United circles. Is it right that we're talking to Gassama? Is it right that, you know, he's coming to United? Well, I can go one better than that. Alan Biggs, step aside, because Big Tony in the Platinum chat has confirmed that we may well be having discussions with Gassama. It's bit of ITK information, if you will. That is a joke, by the way. This is totally unproven as a source. Apologies, Tone. Love you, pal. But we can't say whether this is 100% true or not. So, what do we know about Djeidi Gassama? And would he be a decent signing for United? Well, my initial thoughts were slightly underwhelmed, if I'm honest, because he plays for Blue Half. They have been... Look, we've got some content coming up on Behind the Ramble tomorrow night live with James from Wednesday Till I Die podcast, and I'm really looking forward to it because we're going to discuss everything all going on at Swillsborough, and some bits will be funny, some bits will be pay the people behind the scenes, you absolute loser, but things like this, you have to be honest in terms of your overall opinion. They've got a terrible side, they've got a terrible footballing side, and Danny Roll was the one that pulled them up and got the absolute maximum out of a poor side. Now, there were one or two decent signings that he made, Gassama being one of them. What's the other one called? Musaba being another, because they've both done okay, apparently. Don't watch a lot of them. Well, don't watch any of them, to be honest, other than when we're doing it for the channel. Gassama, as you can see on screen, and if you're listening on audio platforms, I'll read it out for you. He's 21 years old. He plays on the left wing. He's a right footer on the left wing. He's 5'8", which is neither in or there for a winger, to be honest. His contract runs until the end of next season. So even if he was in contract with a non-basket case of a club, it would still be a reasonable value because he's only got 1 year left. We are in the same position with Anel. We don't know from a Wendy's perspective whether he has an option on his deal, because those things don't seem to get revealed very often now. Transfer market have him valued at around €2 million. So a right-footed left winger can play on the right-hand side. I've got his stats here from last season, playing for them lot. He played 43 games. I've put a minutes per game stat here just to show you how skewed some stats can be. Because minutes per game for Sheffield United, who are worried about fitness, you might see a stat like that and it might be posted elsewhere, and you might think, oh my God, he can only last 70 minutes a game. Well, that's not the case, because he's made 43 appearances, but he's only started 36, which means the rest he's come on as sub. So that, obviously, the average of his minutes per game will drop significantly due to his substitute appearances. Again, another reminder that you cannot take stats for all they're worth. So on to a few more stats. That were a bit like Andy Blade the other night, weren't it? We shouldn't be signing any more injury-related players, but Harry Souttar would be an ideal proposition for United. We'll get him at a cut-down price. Yeah, that's because he's injured, Dad. Anyway, he scored 7 goals in a terrible side, and the one thing I like about this is he was only expected to get less than 6 goals. So he's this is what you call outperforming your expected goals, or your XG. He has got more goals than he was expected to get. So from the positions he got himself into, he's managed to score more goals than he was expected. Now, the stat below, which is the assists, he's got 1 assist all season, and this also it complements him in term and sort of highlights exactly what we're saying about the boys in blue. He was expected to get nearly 3 assists. So he's got into a position where he can lay on a goal-scoring opportunity for his teammates, and they have fluffed their lines. He's only got 1 assist because it's up to them to convert ultimately. But he should have had almost 3 assists. So this is where you look into it a little bit more. So he's got more goals than he was expected to. He should have had more assists if his teammates would have converted. His average rating was 6.89, which is okay. I take it with a pinch of salt because, again, with stats, and that is opinion-based, based on statistics, I think is the way that that SofaScore pull through their information. We saw it with Sidney Peck, where he got something like a 6.7 for the season. Sidney Peck were outstanding last season for us, particularly as a breakthrough. You'd have him as a 7.5 for me personally. Again, it's subjective, but that's what I'd be going for. So with the link from Bigsy, we have to take this with a pinch of salt. So again, while we looked at the player and we told you the original source as to what got tongues wagging, and despite Big Tony suggesting that possibly there is a move on the cards, what Bigsy's saying here is Gassama was definitely linked under Wilder. And we know that is no longer a barometer for who Sheffield United are going after. We were much closer to Jimmy Dunn, and then we pulled the rug. And now, have we pulled the rug on Gassama? Would you like Djeidi Gassama at United? Does he improve our 11? Does he have to improve our 11 if we're getting him at a knockdown price? He's a young lad. I think if we can get him for around 1.5, I think we're laughing. I think we're absolutely laughing. There's strong... Well, Nixon's now reporting that Blackburn are in for him. So, again, hot and cold. Yes and no. From in, out, up, down. In terms of Alan Nixon. If you get that reference, then you've probably got young children. Or you're Jamie Dumpling. So... What do you reckon? Is it a signing you would like to see United make? Does he impact the first team is the one thing I wanted to ask you. I think he's probably, if he doesn't make the first 11, he's a real strong option off the bench. Because he's pacey, he takes players on, he's got an eye for a goal, as we've seen, and I don't think this would be bad at all. So I want to say thank you to everybody for joining me this morning. We are keeping this as close as we can to 10 minutes. I think the microphone issue is sorted out. The camera, I may have to zoom back a little bit because if you're not watching this having your breakfast, I do apologise. I'm quite close. Hopefully you're just getting it on audio platforms and you don't have to see my face. But while I'm here and I'm showing things on screen, I'm just going to say, join us tonight on Behind the Ramble. I haven't finished that thumbnail, by the way, but I'm just letting you know. Paris Saint-Germain versus Real Madrid. Join us. Be there or be square. Myself and Jord will be there to watch this second semi-final, and then we'll be watching the final on Behind the Ramble as well, following the Club World Cup to its conclusion. Thank you to everybody for joining me this morning, but for now, come on you red and white wizards! Pop the blades.